Hey guys, it's Mr. Mackey again. So today you guys are going to be working independently. You're just going to go through this presentation, and then once it's all submitted, you're all going to be good for today. So for our announcements, just make sure that you complete your homework, which is in Google Classroom, by Friday. And so those two assignments are going to be the letter to Mr. Mackey and the talking points, okay? For tomorrow on Thursday, I'm just meeting with first, second, and fourth period. You guys are going to meet me for Zoom for our A-Day. And fifth, sixth, and eighth period, I will see y'all Friday morning. You can get the link to the Google Classroom, you can get the link to the Zoom on Google Classroom in the morning, or you can go to my Classroom website, which is posted under Google Classroom as well. So for the breakdown of our regions, we have four major regions. Okay, so we have the coastal plains, north central plains, Great Plains, and then mountain and basin region. Okay, so when we're talking about regions, we're actually talking about two big factors. Okay, so those are going to be human and physical characteristics. Okay, so when we say human characteristics, this just means like the people living in a place or how people have changed the environment. Okay, so this means like any roads, any buildings, religion, the language you speak. Okay, those are all things that deal with humans that we control. Okay, so those are human characteristics. When we talk about physical characteristics, those are described as things that like naturally happen or are just already there. Okay, like the weather, we don't control when it rains. Animals that are there, plants that grow. Okay, if there's a mountain, those are all things that we haven't affected, they're just naturally there. So when we talk about the coastal plains region, some quick facts about this is just all rivers flow through this region, okay, because they're all feeding out into the major Gulf of Mexico. And then some cities that are included here, all the big cities of Texas, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, Houston. Okay, so we have the largest population too. So how are we making a lot of our money? That's going to be through our natural resources, okay, so things that are just already there in nature. Okay, that's going to be timber, which is just wood, and oil. So for this coastal plains game, what I want you to do is look at all four images, each have a number next to them. You're about to get a question that's going to ask you which two would be considered a physical characteristic of the coastal plains region. So for the North Central Plains region, some quick facts about this. It's mainly known for its agriculture, which means farming, and manufacturing, which means making things like backpacks or shoes. The cities in here are going to be Fort Worth, Abilene, and Wichita Falls. And some of the natural resources there are going to be limestone rock and fertile soil. And when I say fertile soil, don't get confused. It just means that it's really healthy dirt. Okay, so things can easily grow there. So you're going to do the same thing that you did before. You're about to get a question. And for the North Central Plains game, it's going to ask you what are two examples of human characteristics out of these four images. Cool. So going into the Great Plains region, this is the coldest region out of them all. Okay, up at the very top, it sometimes can get snow, which is very rare for Texas. The cities include Amarillo and Lubbock. It's also a well-known landmark is Palo Duro Canyon, which we're going to talk a little bit more about next week. So for this game, for the Great Plains, I want you guys to identify the physical characteristics that are shown here. And if you need to review, go back to one of the first slides so you can see the difference between physical and human characteristics. All right, so our last region. This is the mountains and basins region. Okay, it literally gets its name because it's just full of mountains. It also has the lowest population. The only two major cities there are going to be El Paso and Pecos. And then the major landmark is Guadalupe Peak, which is just a super tall mountain. So for our final regions game for the mountain basin, I want you to identify what are two human characteristics here. Okay, and once you're all done, you are good for today. Make sure to turn this in, and I will see y'all either tomorrow or Friday.